Hello there, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. In today's episode, I'm gonna show you, step by step, how to approach a new loop. A new loop that was introduced in the second part of Voyager arc. It is really crucial for you to know all those small steps, so you can actually take as much of this loop as you can from the moment you start. And of course, if you are not yet a subscriber to this channel, please click the subscribe button which is under the video. And of course, if you like the content, if it is helpful for you, click the like button. It really helps me and this channel to grow. Let's get straight to the business. The Voyager, new ship, new arc, new loop, new things to do. Let's get started. Regardless if you have the Voyager right now or if you're gonna have it in a more or less few days, and I'm gonna come back to it later, you have to start with one thing. So first of all, let's look at this path. You can see there in the background, there's a lot of new systems. What you have to do is take your biggest ship, and it doesn't matter if you have a Voyager, you are taking your biggest ship and you should go as far down this path as you can go. Crew this ship to be good versus interceptors, because those hostiles in those systems gonna be interceptors because Voyager is Explorer, Neo, Triangle, whatever. Take the biggest ship, crew it. I'm personally right now using a crew of 5 of 10, Giorgio and Tal. Those are my 3 officers that are really often on the deck, and below deck I use Grash, Hugh and Odo, just because I want to introduce some critical shots and I want to increase the damage of those critical shots. So this is the crew I'm using the most. Of course, depending on your level, you might have a different officers. What you want to do is choose your best crew that works versus interceptors. And you go there, down this path. Might take you for a while because the warp times are quite a bit long out there, but you get to those systems and you start hunting the reds which are there. And if you are lucky, you're gonna find a survey. One of the ships gonna be survey. If you kill it, you're gonna get more loot out of it. All the other ships are dropping hydrogen relics and you have to collect them. And you have to have more than 10,000 of them. Preferably would be really nice if you can get 15, maybe 20, as much as you can. But for the first refinery that you're going to be doing every day, you need at least 5,200 to do free chest pull, and it is really important for you to do that if you have Voyager. If you don't have Voyager, you're going to be doing 1 pull and it's going to be giving you 1 blueprint of the Voyager. If you have the Voyager, you're going to be getting deuterium canisters, and about it in a second. Because coming back to the Voyager, if you don't have that ship yet, how to get it? Well, if you get 1 blueprint per day, you would need to wait 100 days, right? But as long as from the start of this arc you are doing all the missions every day to 100%, there is a quite huge chance that you already saw that there is this complete storyline events solo milestone. And if you're gonna look into that event, you're gonna see that there is this like a strange token. It's like orange glowing orb. And that orange glowing orb is called Lobby Crystal, and you can get 38 by doing every day or every second day the missions, by completing this arc 100%, but not just battle pass but all the side missions also. So as long as you are doing those things every day, you're gonna get 38 out of it. The remaining 12 are in the free battle pass. So if you're gonna go to the battle pass, you're gonna see that you can find some of them, like 4 of them, or you should already be able to collect them if you were doing the battle pass missions every day. And you're gonna get a little bit more around the 16th day of this arc. So collecting all those lobby orbs, you're gonna get 50, and if you're gonna click the event store, you're gonna see that you have this like a partial Voyager unlock, and it requires exactly 50 of those lobby crystals, and you can get 50 blueprints of Voyager, which means that somewhere at the end of the arc you're gonna have 50 blueprints of the Voyager. And of course, day by day, going through the arc, going with your strongest ship and farming those hydrogen relics, you're gonna be also refining 1 blueprint every day, which means that if you are going with the perfect streak, 50 days, you have the Voyager. Now, going back to the people who already have the Voyager. If you have the Voyager, you can pull Herogen loot, you can open that chest, or you actually should pull 3 of those chests every day. So, you know, if you can collect as many Herogen relics as you can, so you don't have to do it every day, maybe one trip to really deep space system along that path that I showed you, killing reds, making your cargo full, coming back, having them ready. And every day you're gonna open those 3 chests, do the 3 chest pull. You're gonna get the deuterium canisters. What does the deuterium canisters do? They are kind of goo for the Voyager. So if you have that goo, and if you have Voyager, and if with Voyager you go to one of those systems, those new systems which are along the path I showed you, and you're gonna use the active ability of the Voyager, you're gonna reveal one species 8472 ship. What that ship is gonna do, and you should see it in the background out there, it's gonna start chasing your Voyager. And another hint, because at the beginning the Voyager is gonna be a really weak ship, and you won't be able to kill as many as them as you want, might be, but don't really have to be. And second, well, it's not the best way to do that. In my opinion, what you have to do here is, if you have discovery, and if you can summon your Voyager further the path that the Voyager can go itself, you should do that. So you get the discovery there, you can use the warp range crew on the discovery, because it's Explorer, you have a 3 officers that allows you to go further. You summon Voyager, you bring also your strongest battleship that you have. I'm still using 5 Tal and Giorgio on the side, and below deck we have a Grunge, we have a Hugh, and we have a Odo. And what you want to do is having those 3 ships in this like furthest system that you can get. Use the ability of the Voyager, it spawns the red, and you attack that red with your battleship. That's gonna make sure that you're gonna actually kill it. If not, if your main ship dies, you can still quickly summon it back with the discovery, because that hostile that's gonna show, it's gonna stop in the point where it killed your ship, and it's gonna be waiting there. So either you're gonna finish it or somebody else will. But the really important thing for you at that point of time is to kill those species, and by doing the triple pull of the Herogen loot exchange, you're gonna get 3 chances to use the Voyager ability. And if you're gonna do that, you should get enough of those exotic biotoxins to pull species 8472 loot exchange. And if you did it well, you may be able to do 3 chest pull. If you weren't that lucky, maybe you can do the 2 chest pull. What's important there, beside that you're gonna get some parts for the Voyager, you're gonna get those Delta Quadrant warp cells. What they allow you to do, yeah, you have some tokened systems. So you have to have this Delta Quadrant warp cell, which goes from exactly that species 8472 loot exchange. And looking at the background, what I did, I thought, well, yeah, maybe I need to go to those systems with the Voyager, and I took my Voyager off. I went to those systems, and what I found there was actually 3 things. One thing is reds that drop 2 type of goo, exotic biotoxins, and it's just a tiny bit of them. They are also dropping common anomaly sample and rare anomaly sample. And what I was thinking, okay, so I have this Voyager, I can kill those reds really easy because it has this research that gives, you know, advanced or like multiply its damage against those reds. Or you can actually mine these common anomaly samples or rare anomaly samples. So I used Voyager to mine them, to kill those reds, to get those artifacts, to get those tokens, and those tokens are required to pull yet another chests, and it's an anomaly sample exchange and rare anomaly sample exchange. And there you get some relic parts, you get some Voyager parts, you get some tokens that allows you to improve your research around the Voyager, but don't do it that way. Because if you go with Voyager, and even if you have some research around the Voyager, around its cargo size, for example, one trip can get you max 100,000 of loot. That was in my case 100,000 of loot, and that is not enough, and there is a much better way to do it. So how do you do it, right? Okay, you take your, again, biggest and strongest battleship that you have. Preferably Explorer, but it can be Interceptor or Battleship. So one of those ships, the biggest that you have, and what you need to do is to do small experiment. And in that experiment, I would say put 5 as a captain and use any officers that increase the cargo size of your battleship, right? That's strange, right? Come on, Amp, why should I do it that way? It's because if you're gonna take that ship into one of those ticketed systems and start farming reds, and that's a grind, you're gonna do it for a while because you will have to kill a few of those reds, you will be able to get not 100,000 of cargo, but you're gonna be able to get much more, depending of course on your battleship cargo size and all those cargo boosting officer abilities, maybe some researches, maybe some exocomps, whatever you need. You're gonna be able to bring much more of those loot, killing those reds. So that's really crucial. Taking your biggest, strongest ship, crewing it properly, 5 of 10 as a captain, and cargo boosting officers on the sides, and even under deck if you have a cargo boosting officer that you can place under deck. You go to one of those systems, and here it's a tricky, because one thing you need to know is in those token systems, you have to kill those reds before round 7 starts, because they have this really interesting design. At round 7, whatever you do, they're gonna send you home. They just blow a hole through your hull, they just shot a really huge shot. They are designed like that, and they will send you home. So maybe you need to go a little bit down. Maybe you don't have to punch up into those tokenet system, and maybe you have to go a little bit down to be able to kill more of them, to fully fill your cargo and go back home. And by doing that, and you can also see it in the background, I did it 2 or 3 times, and it took me like a half hour of grinding per full health of my Sanctus with those officers on the sides that were boosting the cargo size. And by doing that, I was able to go to the refinery, and I was able to pull 2 or 3 chests of anomaly sample exchange, and also like a 1 rare anomaly sample exchange. What I was able to do by opening those chests, I was able to make my Voyager stronger, so I got some parts for the Voyager, I got also some tokens to improve the researches around the Voyager, and by doing that I was also able to tier up my Voyager, and by that I made a reset to the loop, and all those chests in the refinery showed again. So I was able, rinse and repeat, I was able to do it again and do another pulls, and again go to those systems, farm those reds, and so on and so forth. So the important things that you have to take away from this video is, when you're starting for the chest that is known as a hydrogen loot exchange, regardless if you have a Voyager or not, every day or every few days you go to those systems with your strongest ship, you farm them, you get those hydrogen relics, and you refine every day. The biggest pool you can have, so this like a free chests pool. After that, you take your Voyager with probably the strongest ship that you have in your fleet. Maybe you take the Discovery with you to warp your Voyager as far as you can go along that, that new path. You use the Voyager active ability, and you kill those reds that are being summoned. You want to do it 3 times. After that, you can pull the species 8472 loot exchange. Preferably do the triple chest pull, if not do double chest pull, but you should be able to do the triple chest pull at least every second time. You get the Delta Quadrant warp cells, you get your strongest ship again, crew it this time with cargo boosting officers and maybe 5 of 10 as a captain, and of course cargo boosting officers under the deck, maybe something that allows you to get some criticals. You go to those token systems, you kill reds, you fill your cargo 100%, you just get everything out of those reds, you go home, you repeat that loop, and then you are able to open the last 2 chests, which are anomaly sample exchange and rare anomaly sample exchange. Okay, that was a lot of information. I hope you find this useful, and I hope, regardless if you already started your way to get the Voyager or you already have that Voyager, you're gonna be able to get some information out of this video. Don't try to do things like mining with Voyager or mining with your Novas or other ships. The mining with anything except Voyager is gonna take you ages, and somebody can come there and shoot you down out of the node, whatever. do the opposite. Use your strongest ship and mine the reds, mine those resources out of those reds by grinding, by spending a bit of a time. The good thing is those bigger chests are like available every 6 or 7 days. The little bit smaller one is, I think, available every 4 days. The species 8472 loot exchange is available every 2 days or 3 days, something like that, and the hydrogen loot exchange is available every day. So you can work around this loop. You can maybe, you know, get those tokens. You may get those red rewards a little bit more on one day, then have a break, then come back, etc., etc. Your goal is to get those new artifacts, which are available in Artifact Gallery, and you cannot get them in any other way except just following that path of the Voyager. Of course, you have the old artifacts that you can get from killing formadas, and of course, you know, sometimes getting them out of the battle pass or something else. So basically, that's it. Again, a lot of information, and I'll try to summarize it twice. I hope you right now will be able to proceed with that loop with the maximum possible outcome, with the maximum possible value that you can get from those token systems, reds, Voyager, other ships. So if you find it useful, if you learn something new, or maybe you are just, you know, collecting your blueprints for the Voyager and you're gonna get that ship in 20 days, maybe 30, maybe 50, or maybe in 100 days, but then maybe you're gonna come back to this video to actually see how to use the Voyager in a proper way. Whenever you found something useful there, or maybe you're gonna come back to this video later, click the like button, and of course, if you haven't done so yet, please click the subscribe button, because it is really important for me. That allows this channel to grow, and you know, this gives me also a really nice boost to create more of this kind of videos. Thank you very much. That was a long one. I think it was the longest of my videos till now. Stay safe everybody, and see you in the next episode.